Hello, welcome students. I'm going over unit lesson 2. This is where your major assignment for your first major speech assignment, which is the informative speech. I'm going to go over the outline and also how to submit those assignments. And let's go ahead and get started. So right here, I just went on my navigation menu and I clicked unit lesson. And then it gave me an option of all the unit lessons, and I clicked on unit lesson 2, and this is what pops up. So now let's go over the informative speech assignment, which is this right here. This is your first individual presentation. Very exciting. I enjoy listening to all my students, their presentation. So it's an exciting time for me as I get to listen to your speeches. Please remember, at this point, you should have read chapters 13 through 16, reviewed your PowerPoints, and you know where you can find your PowerPoints on the student resources, and you also can find the notes for chapters 13 through 16. Please make sure you have read those chapters on your ebook, because you need to know what is an informative speech. So right here, you will upload your PowerPoint here along with your YouTube presentation of your informative speech. I hope you have viewed the video on how to upload your video to YouTube, which is right here. This video, once you've recorded your speech, whether you use your iPhone or whatever recording device you use, then what you would need to do, you need to upload that speech video to YouTube. And by watching this video, it will show you how to upload that speech video to YouTube. Make sure you make it public. Please do not restrict it to private. Please do not put any restrictions. I need for you to make it public so that when I go into the Grade Center and go to your name, I can easily open up the link, the YouTube link. So make sure you view this video. The time limit for this speech is 4 to 6 minutes. Please do not speak less than 4 minutes and do not speak more than 6 minutes. Stay within the time frame. Assignment. Select a topic of interest that you feel qualified to speak on. The topic should be of worth, and you'll be asked to support your speech with at least 3 qualified sources. Sources may be drawn from the internet, library, and interviews. So when you're researching, you are required to have at least 3 qualified sources, and you could use reputable sources, the internet, library. You could go into the TCC library and get information about whatever topic you've chosen. Please make sure that your topic is narrow. You don't want something general, so make it narrow, your topic. And if you've read chapters 13 through 16, you'll know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Procedure. Construct an outline of your speech. Use the informative speech outline template located in the outline assignment. I'll go over that in a little while. Note that an outline is not a manuscript of the speech itself, but a skeleton of the ideas and materials that will be presented. Refer back to the example outline in the outline assignment. Note that the final draft of your outline must include a typed works cited section with all sources cited correctly in either MLA or APA format. You must use at least 3 sources. When you use other people's work, you're required to give them credit. A 10-point penalty will occur if sources are not cited. Please make sure not to put off your outline until the last minute. Remember, this should be done early before you start practicing your speech. With the outline completed, transfer key ideas and phrases to note cards. You could use 4x6 note cards. You will be allowed 1 note card for each main point, because for this speech, I am requiring you to have at least 3 main points. No more than 3, main points and no less than 3. So 3 main points. So you'll be allowed 1 note card for each main point presented, plus 2 additional cards to be used for the introduction and conclusion. In other words, for a 3 main point speech, you may use 5 cards. Again, these are note cards. These are 4x6 note cards, kind of like those index card. Please do not use 8.5 by 11 paper. Do not use that. Use those note cards. They're not a distraction. Also, for this speech, you must also include a PowerPoint presentation with at least 5 to 7 slides. I've also have in this unit an example of a PowerPoint slide that a student did a couple of semesters ago for their informative speech. So I have provided examples of an outline, an example of PowerPoint, so that you can see what what you need to be doing. It's a guide for you. With these steps complete, you should set aside time to actively practice your speech. So once your outline has been completed, set aside time. You've completed your PowerPoint. Set aside time to actively practice your speech. You should practice your speech at least 5 to 7 times using your note card sparingly, gestures and movements. So I would say when you practice at least 5 to 7 times, during those times, you should practice at least 15 to 20 minutes. Practice the speech until you feel fully confident of your presentation. Do not read your speech. Do not read your speech. You are to deliver all your speeches extemporaneously. By reading those chapters 13 through 16, you will understand what extemporaneously means. So please do not read your speech. The more you practice, the better you're prepared, and you're going to feel confident as you give your presentation, and you will sound conversational to your audience. The note cards are to be used sparingly. Do not read your note cards. Don't get up there and you're reading your note cards. Basically, your note cards you're just writing down keywords and phrases to trigger memory. Eye contact is crucial. I want to see your eyes, your whole face, not part of it. So make sure you record yourself so that I can see you. I also need to hear your voice. I'm saying all this, students, because in the past I've had students who have recorded themselves. Their forehead is missing. Half of their face is missing. I cannot see them because the room that they recorded in was very dark, and they did not turn the volume on the device they used to record. So again, make sure that your volume is high enough for me to hear you. Make sure the room where you're recording is not dark. Like I said, I want to see you. Your dress attire should be business casual. Please do not be barefooted nor in your PJs. You should stand as you present your speech if you're able to. And I say this because a couple of semesters ago, I had a student who had sprained her ankle and she was unable to stand. But she notified me to let me know, Miss Saleh, I'm unable to stand for my speech because this is what happened. So if you're able to, please stand as you present your speech. I guess I said it twice here. Okay. Remember to begin with an attention getter, then connection to audience, and then give the audience a preview of your 3 main points before you actually go into the 3 main points. Use transitional words to move from one main point to the next. This will help your speech flow smoothly and will keep you on track. And throughout your speech presentation, mention the research you use. This will convey credibility. So for example, you might be saying, according to the American Heart Association, cardiovascular disease, etc., etc. Again, this will help your credibility and validity of the research. Presentations will be graded on the following criteria: the choice of topic, the quality of outline, clarity of ideas, interest and vividness of ideas, communication with the audience, quality of research sources and accuracy of information, ability to meet the stated time, and your PowerPoint. All students are expected to incorporate an extemporaneous type of delivery. Any speech that is read in its entirety will receive no higher than a 70%. This assignment is valued 200 points. So that would be 140 out of 200. That would be 70%. And that is if everything else you've done accurately. Do not read your speech. Please note that this is an informative speech. If at any time you feel you're attempting to reinforce or change audience attitude or that you are advocating a specific action, you're probably falling into the realm of persuasion. Consider using this topic for your persuasive speech because persuasive presentations will receive a letter grade deduction for this speech. Please read through the speech delivery method file on how to deliver your speech presentation. You can find the file in this unit lesson. You are to submit work correctly. There will be a 5-point penalty if assignment is not submitted correctly. Now, I'm going to show you how to submit your YouTube link to Blackboard and how to submit your PowerPoint. Because remember, in this assignment link, after you have recorded your speech and you have uploaded that speech video to YouTube, the next thing is you have to upload that YouTube video to Blackboard so that I can see it, so that I can evaluate your speech. So what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and click on the assignment link right here. And then the instructions are still here too, so you, just in case you need some more understanding of it, or if you forget it, the instructions are here too. So you've got your YouTube link already. What you're going to do for your YouTube link, you're going to go ahead and click on Write Submission. And when you click on Write Submission, this text box pops up. And right here, you're going to copy and paste that link. The YouTube link should be in this text box. Now, you're not finished yet because you also have to do your PowerPoint. You have to submit your PowerPoint on this same link. So what you're going to do is, once you have copy and paste your YouTube link in this text box, you're going to go ahead and click on Browse My Computer. You've saved that PowerPoint somewhere on your desktop or flash drive. You're going to see it somewhere there. You're going to open it up. And then, once you do that, it's going to be right here. So the attached file should have the PowerPoint right here. Once you see it there, then you're going to click on Submit. So I should see your YouTube link, your YouTube link speech video right here in this text box. Browse My Computer. You're going to attach the PowerPoint, the file of your PowerPoint right here. And then click on Submit. So when I go to the Grade Center, which is right here, I will see that you have submitted your speech video and PowerPoint on the informative speech assignment link. So let's go back. I'm going to go back to Unit Lesson 2, Public Speaking. Please make sure that you view the Unit Lesson 2 checklist to make sure what assignments are due for that unit. Please make sure that you read the speech delivery method. You looked at your student resources. There's your unit quiz. Remember, there's a discussion board for this unit lesson. Now, we're going to go ahead and go over the informative speech outline. Okay, now we're going to go over informative speech outline. So right here, I do have some instructions. Please read. It's important for you to read the instructions. You will upload your informative outline here in this assignment link. Use the informative speech outline template, which is this outline template right here. It's in a Word document. So please make sure you use this template. Do not use any other template. Do not create your own outline. It needs to be this outline template that I have right here. And it needs to be in a Word document. You are required to submit the informative speech outline through Blackboard. Please read the directions on your outline. You will type in your information as stated in the outline. Review the attached informative speech instructor example. See attached file. So on top of having an outline template for you, I also have provided an instructor example outline of a student a few semesters ago who did this is their informative speech example outline that you can view as you begin your outline. So it's a guide for you. I provided that for you so that you can get an understanding of what your outline should look like. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the speech outline template. This is what it looks like. And it says here, I have created this outline form to show you exactly what should be included in your outline. In your introduction, you should write out your attention getter, your connection to the audience, credibility statement, etc. This should also be done in the body of the speech outline and in the conclusion. To earn full credit for this outline, it should be a full sentence outline. Please do not include bullet points. It needs to be a full sentence outline. When you prepare your outline, save the document to your computer, take out my instructions, and include your own information. So what I mean by that, these are instructions right here. So what you will do is before you submit it, you're going to go ahead and delete the instructions. And all I want is your information. So right here, it is a Word document, so you're able to type in the information, your information. The topic, let me go ahead and type in the vegan diet. And general purpose. It says here, your general purpose in an informative speech is to inform. So what you're going to type in this area right here is just 2 words. Let me delete that. And those 2 words are to inform. That's the general purpose. Let me take off that period, okay? Let's go ahead and move it up a little bit more. Oh, well, hold on. Yes. I don't want it too close. Just leave at least 2 spaces. 2.0 spacing, I believe this is. Specific purpose. The specific purpose of a speech is its goal, stated in a complete sentence. Remember, this is a full sentence outline. If the general purpose of your speech is to inform, that's the general purpose, then your specific purpose will be a statement of the particular information you will present to the audience. So what you're going to do here, you're going to remove that, and you're going to type in your specific purpose. So I'm going to give you an example. After listening, what's the goal? What is your intent for your audience? What's the goal? So after listening to your speech, what do you want your audience to take from your speech? After listening to my speech, the audience will have an understanding of why people adopt a vegan diet. There he goes. So again, I've deleted the instructions. Organizational pattern, that's next. Go ahead. Oops. Yes. Organizational pattern. Remember, you should have read chapters 13 through 16. I believe one of those chapters, I don't know if it's 14 or 15, talks about the organizational pattern that you can use for an informative speech. The main points of your speech may be organized in any number of logical patterns. The three most common methods of arrangement are chronological order, spatial order, and topical order. That chapter that goes over organizational pattern has other orders, but these are the most common. And usually for an informative speech, the most common is topical order pattern. But for this, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to delete the instructions, and if I were presenting this speech about the vegan diet, I'm going to go ahead and use the topical order pattern. Again, read those chapters and you will find out which order, which organizational pattern you're going to be using, which organizational pattern works best for the speech that you're going to present for your informative speech. The introduction, okay? The attention getter. The introduction has three areas: attention getter, connection to audience, and thesis statement. You've read your chapters. I cannot stress this enough. And the book talks about different ways that you can begin your speech. You want an attention getter. You want to grab the audience attention from the very beginning. You want them to be able to listen to you from the start. It should be creative and it should pull the audience into the presentation. Sometimes it is human nature to feel compelled to announce the topic of the speech, but it really does not engage the audience at all. So please don't ever start your speech saying, "Hello, my name is Carolina Saleh, and I'm going to talk to you about the vegan diet." That doesn't sound too exciting. So never start out by stating your name and what you're going to talk about. You can begin with a quotation, a story, a video clip, and a video clip should not be no more than 30 seconds. You could share a fact about the topic. So in those chapters, it talks about different ways that you can begin your speech. Choose one that you feel the most comfortable with. But make it creative. Make it exciting that the audience is going to want to listen to you. And I'm going to talk to you about the audience in a little while. I should have mentioned that when I went over the speech presentation with you, but I'll go over that in a little bit. Connection to audience. This is where you write, how does this relate to your audience? Why should they be listening to you? Why should they care about this topic? So again, in those chapters, it talks about connection to audience, and then your thesis statement. Your thesis statement it summarizes in one sentence the main points of your speech. Writing a thesis statement is a complete sentence that expresses the speaker's most important idea or key point about a topic. A thesis statement guides the development of a speech. So you would remove this and type in your thesis statement, and in your thesis statement, you should include the three main points that you're going to be talking about throughout your presentation. So, transition. Yes, transitional words. Again, all these terminologies you should know about because you've read those chapters. Transitional words is a bridge from one thought to another. This is where you'll want to introduce your first main point. Try to find a creative transition, but if you can simply state, "My first point is." This allows your speech to flow smoothly. This allows your audience never be lost in your speech. They will know which main point you're talking about all throughout your presentation if you use those transitional words. So main point number one, you should write it in a complete sentence. You should have at least three main points. You just want three main points because remember, this speech is only 4 to 6 minutes. Do not speak less than 4 minutes and do not speak no more than 6 minutes. So you will type in your first main point right here. You will delete the instructions here and type in your first main point in a complete sentence. Then, for each main point, you need to have subpoints. So for each main point, you should have at least 2 subpoints. If you don't need a third subpoint, you can delete that third subpoint and not use it. But you should have at least 2 subpoints for each main point. And then, again, you will delete these instructions here and you type in your own information. And remember, it must be in a complete sentence. Now, to go from main point 1 to main point 2, again, you need those transitional words. So you can leave this. Now that we've covered main point 1, which was, let's move to main point 2, which is, again, this helps your audience know where you're taking them, where they have been, and where are you taking them. You're never going to lose your audience if you use those transitional words. So again, you will go ahead and delete this information and then type in your information here. Then now main point number 2, you're going to go ahead and type in your main point number 2 in a complete sentence. And then you're also going to type in the subpoints for your main point number 2. And again, you must have at least 2 subpoints for each main point. If you don't need this one, just delete it. If you do need it, just keep it there. Now you're finished with main point number 2. And now you're going to transition from main point number 2 to your last main point number 3. We're getting to the end. Now you can type in, you can leave this here, and you can click on right here and type in. Now that we've covered main point 1, which was this, and main point 2, which was this, finally we will delve into main point 3, which is. You see how your audience is always going to know what you've been talking about? And where you're taking them on a trip, and you never want to lose them on this trip. So that's what you need to keep in mind as you are giving your presentation. So you type in main point number 3, and then you type in your subpoints. And then conclusion. You're at the end now. So make sure your ending is just as strong as your beginning, because the audience will remember what you said in the beginning and what you say at the end. You can start off with words in conclusion, finally in a word in brief, in the final analysis, whatever one you use, make it that you feel comfortable saying it, that is your own. Again, you want to convey a conversational voice quality. So this is the break light. It lets the audience know that you're concluding the speech. The audience is going to perk up because usually they remember what you said in the beginning, and they usually remember what you say at the end. So this is your last opportunity to bring it home. Then you have the memorable closing. Never end with, that's all I have, that's it, thank you for your time. You want to end it strong. So you could always tie it back to what you said in the beginning. You can, end with a quote, a story, all related to the topic that you have just presented. Then after that, in this same outline, remember you must provide 3 sources. You use reputable sources, the internet. Do not use Wikipedia. Go to you could go to the homepage of tcc.edu and type in the search library, and you could go in there and use their database to get research about your topic. And then right here, you could delete this here, or you can even go onto this website, click on that, and it kind of gives you information on how to cite MLA or APA format. It doesn't matter which one you use as long as you cite it. That's my main thing. And you're going to go ahead and type in the information here. You're going to type in the 3 sources that you use, either APA or MLA format. You could use more than 3 sources, but at least 3. And that's basically it. That is the outline. So let's go back to unit lesson. So once you've completed the outline, Oh, and also, like I said before, I do have another file here, Informative Speech Instructor Example Outline. If you click on that, I believe this is what pops up. This is an example of a student that they did their informative speech on Steve Jobs' influence on the creation of the animation company Pixar. Go ahead and read that at your leisure. You will see what this student did. They removed the instructions. Remove this instructions up here, okay? You type in your name just like I showed you. They used the organizational pattern chronological. They did an excellent attention getter. They didn't memorize this. What they did, they typed out the information and they practiced and practiced and practiced, and they got very comfortable with it. So when the time came for them to present, this was in the classroom, they sounded conversational. They used the same attention getter. Their tone, it was excitement. If you get excited, your audience will get excited. They did the connection to audience. They had their thesis statement. Right here, it has the 3 main points. They had their transitional words. They typed in their main point in a complete sentence. They typed in their subpoints in a complete sentence. This student used more than 2 subpoints. Again, you don't have to. They used 2 subpoints here, but then they had a little bit more information for their subpoint number 2. So they used the alphabet here, A, B, C, D, E. You don't have to do that. Okay? But just as long as you use this template, the one that I just went over. They went into transition, main point number 3, typed in everything is in a complete sentence, and that's what I want. Do not set bullet points. And then the conclusion, the break-by summary, and then the memorable conclusion. And they ended with a quote. And they typed in their sources right here. That's it. So make sure, as you're doing your outline, open up this file so that you could see if you're doing it right. Just follow that format. Once you have completed your outline and you're ready to submit it through Blackboard, then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click on the assignment link right here. The informative speech assignment link. And you're going to click on Browse My Computer because you've saved that informative speech outline on your desktop or on a flash drive. You're going to open it up and then it will be attached right here. And then click on Submit. So again, when I go into the Grade Center and go to your name, I will see that you have submitted the informative speech outline in the appropriate link. So let's go back to Unit Lesson 2. I also have when I went over the informative speech assignment right here earlier with you, I want to point out that I have some videos here that you please feel free to watch. These are excellent videos. I like this one very much, How Public Speaking Will Change Your Life. I know it's a little scary when you present a speech. I understand. I still get nervous myself, but it is worth it. It's challenging, and it's just a skill that you get better and better the more opportunities you allow yourself in public speaking. So please give it time to view this video. This is another video right here. And this is a video that I found on YouTube. I thought that this person did a nice job on presenting an informative speech. And you see, she did a PowerPoint. Now, let me just talk to you. I know you have to do a PowerPoint. If you're going to be turning around, giving me your back or giving me your side, and not really looking at the electronic device, that's whatever device you're using to record, then forgo. Do not even show the PowerPoint. You still have to submit it. And I already showed you in the previous instructions how to submit it through this assignment link. I don't want you to be turning around every time and giving me your side if you're going to be doing that. So forgo the PowerPoint. Like I said, you still have to do the PowerPoint. You still have to create it because I'm going to grade on how you design the PowerPoint. And one of the things that I have also included in this is an example of a PowerPoint of a student right here. So you could always click on this and it's going to kind of show you how your PowerPoint should be designed. Okay, you need to include text and images. Don't overcrowd it. Don't put too much text. I think this person did a nice job in creating this PowerPoint, and that is why I wanted to put that in this unit so that you can see as you're designing your PowerPoint, how should it look like? Again, don't overcrowd. You need to use text and images and give credit to those images that you use. Now about the audience. Usually I do say that you should have at least 3 people in your audience. I know during this time, COVID, last semester students were concerned, especially the ones who did not have anyone at home. And I'm not going to take off points. If you have 3 people, they could listen to your speech presentation. I don't want them to block you. I want to see you. So make sure whoever is recording you, they do a nice job in allowing me to see your face and your body, but don't go too far away because so then I won't see you. So again, I think if you watch this video of this individual, did a nice job. They were close up. I still was able to see the face. Again, this is not a student of mine. I just thought that this was a good example. And sometimes you might not have this, this monitor there. Some of us might not have that. And I do understand. Like I say, you don't have to show the PowerPoint. But if you do, then make sure you're not giving me your back. You're not turning around every time. And you're not giving me your side. I want to see you. I want for you to see that you're making eye contact with me. Again, eye contact in public speaking is so important because that's how you engage with your audience. Your audience wants to listen to you. They want to see that you're making eye contact with them. So again, if you do have in your family an audience of at least 3, then by all means, you can have them be present as you're giving your speech, but make sure they're not blocking you because I do want to see you. That's the main thing. I'm sure you'll have some questions. Please email me your questions. Do not wait to the last minute. You need to check your course organizer when this assignment is due, and to make sure that you check your Unit Lesson 2 checklist because you've got your informative speech assignment, your PowerPoint, your outline, your discussion board, and your unit quiz 2 to complete for this unit. Again, start on this early. Do not procrastinate. This is an 8-week course, so there's really not room for you to say, oh, I'm going to wait later on. Because right after this unit comes the persuasive speech. It's going to be the same delivery method, but it's going to be a persuasive speech instead of informative. So again, please start early. Do not procrastinate. And check your course organizer for assignment due dates. Those assignment due dates are real. And like I said, how do I check the attendance policy? Is that you submit the assignment by the due date. Thank you.